Hello, ladies and gentlemen of SeemsGoodMagic.com. This is Travis Sowers, and we are jumping into a Legacy Cube Phantom Swiss Draft League. I'm excited about the Legacy Cube. I actually prefer it to Powered Cube. Power is fun, but it's kind of all about doing stupid broken stuff, where this is sort of about figuring out a deck and playing. You can go mono red, you can go aggressive strategies, you can go control strategies, you can kind of do anything you want. So I'm excited to be joining these. This is my first one. We'll be doing plenty more on stream, so stop by there at twitch.tv/Simulin. But pretty stoked to be jumping in here for the first one, and figured the first one will be the one for the video. So you guys can see my experiences here. I haven't checked the change log, so I don't know what's changed since the last time I did it, but I know that I enjoy this cube every time it's offered. Treachery is a first pick in powered cubes. And in non-powered cubes, it's usually the best card in the cube. You just take their biggest thing, untap, and get to cast something else. That's pretty fantastic. Now, I have a tendency to want to play aggressive strategies in this style of cube, just so you can close out a game. I guess you could call this fair cube if the other one's powered cube. So like the aggressive cards that I would be interested in here would be something like Glorious Anthem, wheel the Declaration in stone, take the Declaration, wheel the Anthem. Attrition can be fun. Ramp is still a strategy here, and it's uniquely green now that Signets and Moxes aren't everywhere, but it's really difficult to start a draft without Treachery when you open Treachery. It's kind of like, hey, maybe you should be doing that. Treachery does go good in a control shell. Wrath of God and Treachery are good starts to something like that. Batter Skull is too. Like Still Their Dude, make a Batter Skull. I'm kind of interested in things we could do with 5 mana. Elder Deep Friend is interesting. I mean, my eyes immediately drawn to Isamaru because, again, I tend to play aggro. I think I'm going to select the Batter Skull. That's good in a lot of different decks. I expect Stoneforge Mystic is in this cube, and that would give us a solid reason to play it. It's kind of starting with 2 high casting cost things. There's a lot of Wraths, and they're normally not amazing, and I don't necessarily want to be blue-white right off the bat. Like, I'd really like to play this if we at all possibly can. And it's looking like maybe we can. Yeah, we've got some interesting options here. Like, Elspeth's a fine finisher for some sort of blue-white control deck. The Sublime Archangel interests me too, although it goes in a bit of a different deck. And we could even look at the Nightvale Spectre. That plus the Treachery sets us up for some really strong devotion to blue shenanigans. Again, Elspeth would be a windmill slam if we were in a powered cube, right? Because we're like, well, we'll get some Signets and some Moxes and we'll do the thing. I also kind of like Nightvale Spectre a lot more than I should. Doomblade's a consideration too, frankly. Like maybe we could do blue-black control-ish style deck. FTK is not even unreasonable. FTK may just be the best card here. I'm going to take Doomblade and see if that Nightvale Spectre wheels. Maybe I'm a monster. I would believe I was a monster. That name again is Mr. Plow. We've got a Swords to Plowshares, and it's kind of hard not to take it. There's also a Rabble Master. Like, if I'm willing to just accept that this was kind of a throwaway, we could be potentially something black-red aggressive. We could still be blue, but we're not seeing any actual blue cards. But, like, Rabble Master is pretty powerful. So is Plow. Like, we could be black-white Batter Skull. It's just Rabble Master is one of those cards that if you can land it, it wins. Maybe we're doing Rakdos aggro? Maybe? Maybe? This one's pretty good. I don't know that it plays with Treachery. I could take the Recruiter and see if some Splinter Twin shenanigans show up. It's a powerful card that tutors. I could also take Magma Jet, but I'm going to hedge a little bit here and kind of see where we're going. The Whisperwood Elemental is an army in a can, and it's a fantastic card. Hellrider kind of makes me just want to do like mono red shenanigans. which is not really what I want to be doing in this cube. Well, I did say I favored aggressive strategies, not usually that one, but like we're seeing really good cards for that deck. Hellrider can really do something with the Rabble Master. I'll take a pick that leads me in that direction. All right, now it's time to decide if we want to get serious or not. Because the Johnny's, generally speaking, a more powerful card, but Thunderbreak is your top end for that deck. If we're just doing that, I don't mind doing it. I'll have to pick up some 1-drops, but I think we're just doing that. I think we're just doing that. Phoenix is fine, not exciting. If we do get something going on with the Avalanche Riders, I think I'd like it. We're going to need some of that burn to wheel. Like the reason the Avalanche Riders is interesting is, like, let's say we get a Splinter Twin, we could search it up and do some fun things, but I think I'll hedge on us just being aggressive. I think I prefer the Firecraft. Like, these are kind of interchangeable 5-drop kill spells, and I've already got one that does enough. Like, Batterskull and Mono Red isn't normally what you think of, but it's reasonable. I don't think I really need any of this. I'm going to take this. It might mean that we can splash a Doomblade. Kava Wheeling means I should certainly be red. I'm not sure red what, but I'm not even opposed to do something like this. Yeah, I guess you first pick Treachery and end up black-red aggro-ish. That sounds kind of like a Travis thing to do. We're not really on the mono red deck. The mono red deck is a lot of 1 and 2 drops, and we're not doing that. So it's an interesting start we have going on here. We could be a little bit more of a big black-red deck, but either way, we need to prioritize cheap burn spells and cheap removal spells. More things like Doomblade, Lightning Bolt, Lightning Strike, etc. Batterskull and Dark Confidant look a little interesting in the same deck. And we're not necessarily playing black, right? Things could work out where we're not. I don't think things are going to work out where we're playing a Stormcaster Mage, but I mean, maybe we're Boros aggro and we want something like that to protect. I guess it's not any more unreasonable than the rest of this. Our Reckoner may be difficult to cast. I think I'd prefer the Chandra. Bone Splitter is actually somewhat playable. I don't hate that. So we do indeed have the Splinter Twin. That's interesting. There's also a Mimic Vat. I like Mimic Vat a lot. Like, the Splinter Twin's pretty enticing, right? Like, already putting it on a Rabble Master's a thing, putting it on a Kavu's a thing, putting it on a Hellrider's a thing. It might lead to some scenario where I can actually still play the Treachery. Because, like, Doomblade and Bob, whatever, we can cut them if we have to. I think I'm gonna hedge a little bit here. We've got a couple different game plans going. I'm gonna put them all kind of over here, and we'll determine which one we're doing later. I think the Splinter Twin would probably only go in a blue deck, but, like, we've already got, if we can get one copy of something to get with it, we can get another. And, like, here's the moment of decision, right? We've got Goblin Guide, which is probably the best 1-drop for that deck, versus a Phantasmal Image, which is really good, and something we can search up with the Recruiter because it's a 0/0. So, like, every creature that we take, if we're playing that Recruiter, gets better because we have 2 copies of it. I'm a hedge on that Image. I wouldn't hate you if you took the other one. Whew. There's Koth. Again, we've got the high end for all of these aggressive decks, but not the low end. If we're going to play blue, the pick here's Force Spike. And I think I like what's happening here. I think I can comfortably call this a deck. Impulse is probably better if we're doing combo shenanigans. Right now we're not. We're just looking to maybe value a Splinter Twin. Gargadon can do some stupid stuff, but I may just prefer the Flame Slash. Sometimes you need to just kill things. It's kind of hard to go wrong with Impulse, though. Maybe I'm being a bit impulsive, but I feel like I'm seeing decent blue and I should take it. Augur of Bolas is pretty meh. Pretty meh, even in what we're doing now. This guy is not as main deckable as he used to be. Like, it's still fine, but it would be more of a sideboard card. Augur doesn't have nearly enough hits for us. It's just, do you want a 1/3? I'm going to take a Vandal for the board, I think. There's a Lightning Bolt. I probably just need to suck it up and take that. I thought maybe we were going to be set up to do something with Thassa, but we're just not. My mana is also terrible, which is a concern. Perforos does play nicely, too, with the Rabble Master. But we need some removal here. Reveler might do it. Serendib Efreet's pretty enticing too, because I think we are interested in winning via damage. What's my instant and sorcery count? 1, 2, 3, 4. This Phoenix looks awful, doesn't it? Yeah, I think I'd prefer the Efreet. Some counter spells wouldn't be bad here. This is not your normal blue-red deck. Well, it's not my normal blue-red deck, but that doesn't make it bad. Part of the Water Veil is interesting if we can get there. The Krinkos command does play nicely with the Rabble Master and is an instant or sorcery, should we get cards that care about that. It's also just filler level 2 drop. That's fine. I'm really hoping for something busted to do with this. Because again, if we get one piece, we've got 2 copies of it. I think I've already got enough interaction that I'd play it, like making an extra Rabble Master and just having infinite goblins every turn seems good. Copying FTK is good. So here we need to decide between Fire and Ice and Grim Lavamancer, and I think I'm going to take the Fire and Ice. It's just too flexible. I'd like Mishra's Factory, but our mana's awful. The Reflecting Pool makes it both good and worse. I don't feel like I'm all in enough to be able to pull off a Goblin Guide. Like, I just can't back it up with anything approaching aggression. So I'll take the pool. Like, it'll get you doubles if you can get singles. So like 8/8 pool is embarrassing but acceptable. Koth's all right. I've kind of got a glut of 4s. I'll take the dual caster. Sure, Gargi. Is there any chance I'll play a Hangerback Walker? Yeah, there's more chance I play that than that I play a Gargadon. It could potentially make tokens which do something with the Hell Rider. I'm sure it's a goblin. Just hack a procession here. We're kind of splashing blue for treachery currently. This is the weirdest deck I have drafted in a while, but Legacy Cube, ladies and gentlemen. I think I'd be interested in Miscalculation in the Looter, but if I don't take the Volcanic Island, I'm kind of a monster. And I am kind of a monster. Let's not pretend I'm not, but also a Wallet Slayer Angel. It used to be very expensive back in its day, but yeah, let's get going here. Oddly enough, I do value the Stromkirk Noble a bit more than most, but I think I'm again going to take the land. I've got plenty of playables, and just having better mana is going to be good for us. War Marshal plays well with some of the stuff we have. Like, there's a lot of wheels here. The Dancer Jace, the Marshal, even the Pyroclasm I'd probably play. It feels good to be seeing some good mana for our deck. Like a blue or red fetch would even be a pretty high pick now. Like, we've got powerful stuff. If we can cast it, we could win games. I think we could stand toe-to-toe with an aggro deck. All right, we've got a Looter, a Remove Soul, a Relic, which is an interesting sideboard card and just shuts some decks off. Or if we want to move more towards the aggressive spectrum, I could take the Chainwalker. That kind of makes me wish I'd taken the Goblin Guide. There's also an Ancient Tomb, which is busted. Like, that's one of the few powerful things you can be doing in this format, right? I think if you pass the Goblin Guide, taking the Chainwalker's a little bit suspect. I'm going to take the Tomb. I'm not 100% to play it. I think I'm very likely to play it. How close are we to wanting a Copter? I mean, probably, like, if I take the Mana War and play the Splinter Twin, we've got some interesting things going on there. So I think I'll go for that. Yeah, I thought we would see some more playables, and we just kind of haven't. Like, we've got some aggressive stuff here. I don't think I'm the Talrand deck. Blah, 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 blah. We're going to need just a few more playables. Seal of Fire is okay. Falconwrath Gorger is just a 2/1. How many instants and sorceries am I playing? 1, 2, 3, 4. Not enough. I guess we'll take an exceptionally mediocre Seal of Fire. So Moloko gives us some interesting late game options that do play well with the Hellrider. Chandra may be what I'm interested in here, though. Like, we're pretty red heavy. Like, I'd need to be able to attack with her and then flip her. I kind of don't think I want this. I've got a lot of late game. Let's give Baby Chandra a try. Bogarden Hellkite, you say, and Precursor Golem. I like Precursor Golem a lot. We've already got all the expensive stuff we need, though, so I don't think we're actually playing any of this, which is unfortunate. These are some good cards. We're like a fetch away from Nahiri being a possibility. I'm not exactly sure what I would do with it, but I'll take it here. If I'm 100% to play the Tomb, the other Chandra is interesting, but I don't think I'm going to do it. It feels good to be me. I'm really smart, and I'm really good at this game. And that's basically all you need to know. Wallet Slayer Angel came back. I guess we'll take a Bushwhacker in case we want to get more aggressive. War Marshal's fine. Again, I like the Noble, but what are we cutting here? Like, I kind of can't cut too much of this. I'll have to cut maybe a 3-drop, and it may just be the Dual Caster. It's hard to cast and not super scary. I could even see cutting Chandra and the Dual Caster for this War Marshal. I may do that and keep these tokens around. Chainwalker came back? Maybe. We got some real options now. And a Burst Lightning. Sold. I'd probably play Dargon Fodder too, but like, we're able to actually clear out some of this stuff now, which I like. If I want to go very aggressive, having that option's not bad. All right. We kind of did it. I didn't think I was going to get Splinter Twin and Pestermite, but I like it. So we got to kind of figure out what doesn't belong here. And our deck's kind of got two things going on. We're being aggressive and trying to deal damage and mess with people that way and like win here. And then we've also got an Oops, I Won combo in the Splinter Twin and the Pestermite. The Recruiter can go find the Pestermite, and there's also enough other value that it can go get. So there's some other things that play well with Splinter Twin, like here and here. So I think I'm interested in cutting cards that don't interact with this or just aren't particularly good. And I could get behind that being something like Seal of Fire and Dual Caster Mage. This is a bit of a pipe dream. Like, are we ever bolting our opponent to get this back? No. And then maybe, like, Krenko's Command is just too cute. Like, why bother with that? I've got some token shenanigans going with the Hell Rider. And this leaves me, like, decent Planeswalkers to do stuff. Treachery. I still like the Batterskull. It'll win a game. And plenty of burn. A little bit of card selection. No card draw, but selection. Which will help get us to our combo if we want it. I think this is where I want to be. And I think I'm not going to play Ancient Tomb. And I'm probably wrong. I probably should be playing Ancient Tomb. You know what? I'm going to play it. The card's simply too powerful. We can cut it if we're up against a burn deck. But like a turn 4 Batterskull is a big deal, and you just don't get access to effects like this. We'll run all the non-basics we got to. This gives me 6, 7, 8 blue, 7, 8, 9, 9, 8, plus a little bit here. Like an extra island would be enticing too, but I think I can get behind this. Cool. Appreciate y'all tuning in. I will see you back for round 1 in just a moment.